Right at the top of the drawing. Maybe the top of that little house right there. And then, oh, hello, folks. Hello, 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 hello. This is Story Grub. I'm a man. I'm simple. And I have a simple mind. A one-man mind track mind, if you will. Sometimes it's easier to explain it like that than any other way. Believe it or not. And tippity top of the good morning to you, Joe. I hope the air is fair where you are up there. Where's my coffee? Speaking of Canada, where's my coffee? A simple plan. Careful, you're gonna get me copyright. Stricken. That's hard to say with the. It's hard to do the STR with the R roll. Stricken. Huh, I'm actually pretty good at it. Anyways, it's just one thing to remember, folks. Just once you put your mind to something, just always question everything. Question everything. Especially of your teachers. I remember being in the second grade. The teacher said something. I was like, "What?" And everybody's like, "Huh?" I was like, "What? I just asked what?" And everybody laughed at me. But I asked questions. I asked the right question. Okay. So I'm gonna do stars. Then I'm gonna do like a little skyline up here, sort of thing. The spider. He looks funny. What am I hearing? Why am I hearing noise at like 4 in the morning outside my house? Hold on a second. I gotta get my baseball bat. It's just my neighbor. I was like, what's going on out there? I thought my cat got out or something. I don't even know who the hell I'm talking to. But I just walked all the way over there to find out. Okay. Better safe than sorry for the other guy. I always remember that line in X-Men when somebody says, "Don't you worry about people coming to the mansion to take your kids." And Xavier says, "I feel sorry for any person who comes here with," what does he say? Violence and intention of violence, or with darkness in their heart, or something like that. Because like they get their asses whooped with X-Men. Even though they totally got their asses whipped in the second one. Well, Wolverine. That was when Wolverine. Oh my lord. I remember my brother Gabe telling me, because I told him, I was like, dude, you gotta watch those movies, man. The first ones, they're like Wolverine based, you know? I probably wouldn't have, I don't know why my voice just, I probably wouldn't have liked them had they not, I mean, the first X-Men and the way it opens, not with the Rogue or anything necessarily, even though I don't know if you all know who the person that she is that she's kissing, the young man. But he's in a few George A. Romero movies. I don't know who he is. He's just probably like he's an actor, but he's in like a lot of B movies and stuff. But he's the boy that gets kissed and like she takes almost kills him and stuff. Puts her on the run and then puts her in touch with Wolverine up in I guess Canada, Joe, up in your territory. It might have been, I don't know. Yeah, it must have been on the East Coast, huh? And where was it? I can't remember exactly off the top of my head where Wolverine is from. I want to say he's from like not Manitoba, but like deep in the woods. Like he spent years out there and shit, just isolated. But in the movie, you know, it pretty much picks up right at his story up there in Canada, and where she sees him in the cage fighting and stuff. And I remember seeing that. It took me a little bit to see that movie. I didn't see it in the theaters, but a friend of mine gave it to me on VHS, and like I watched it, and I was like, "What the hell?" Like, even though I felt like he was a little bit too scrawny, like in the first one, because he beefed up for the second one and the rest of them, he like really bulked up. I just thought he was a little bit too small, but he still just carried that character so freaking well. And just the silhouette of him in there, and he's like knocks the guy comes at him again, and just hits him over his with his head and just knocks him. It makes that sound. It's just so funny. I love Wolverine. That was like my first. Besides, like I liked Batman and all that because it was like popular, but Ninja Turtles and Wolverine, like Raphael. If it was like Teenage Mutant, jeez, I can't even talk this morning. If it was the Ninja Turtles or X Men, I always had special characters I liked more than others, and Raphael was always my favorite. He's just a complete badass. It's funny too because in that movie, oh sorry, I'm ignoring people here. Freezing rain today. Dang, be careful out there. Thank you, just existing. I don't think you're just existing. I mean, you obviously are, but I don't think you're just doing that. I think the world is better having you in it. Just so you know, we're all just existing, but we can exist very well together. I think if we want, if we can. So how about this? I'll just exist with you. How about that? Just so you're just not alone. Um, at least for the time being, because time is not on our side, is it? But love is. So that's cool. Yeah. That's right. Northern Alberta. That's right, because I remember like seeing like a map or something like that. Because there was like in Weapon X. I had a few Weapon X comic books growing up. Those got way too like I couldn't get into like certain comic books like X-Men actually too much because of the writing. It was just so over my head. Even as a kid, I just needed like the immediate gratification and just really just looked at the pictures because I mean I could read and all, but I kind of couldn't retain what I read as a kid. I would just see the words and repeat them and not even think about what I was reading. And when I got older, some kid called me out in theater class for it. We were sitting in the audience we were just sitting. We weren't on stage or anything. We were just sitting around the room reading a play, and it was like the teacher was like, "Hey, Sean, you play this person, and then so and so Sarah, you play this person." And then I was like reading the part, but I wasn't like reading it at all. Like it was like I was acting it out. I was just reading it like really blandly and boring. And some girl called me out on it, and she was just like, "Sean, you should read it like you're acting it out or something. You're just going blah 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 blah. You're like really monotone." And it hurt my feelings because it was like in front of the whole class. But back then I was just so timid in front of other people. If I was on stage acting, it was a whole nother thing. If I was and I didn't understand this at the time, but like sitting around a room out of costume did not feel right at all to me. But being on a stage in costume, knowing my lines at least, I could act really well, but no one really got to ever see that part of me like very often. Because that was like the shy me, like in the room where I was just like, then he said this and this, but then on stage I'm like, and then he, just going. Anyways, I was still I was a very shy kid and self-conscious of my like body and stuff. My weight, I didn't like it. I was chubby and I got picked on a few times and didn't look like the other boys ever. And I got picked on a lot. Never wanted to take my shirt off, ever. I was always the kid that always kept his shirt on at the pool party, and people made fun of me for that too. Made it to where I didn't even plan on going swimming if I went to pool parties. But then once I got in the water and did things and nobody cared, it's like once I would realize little things, little hints here and there. Like once you realize that your confidence can get you through things, I think I would figure it out in little doses, but then I would go right back to being shy the next time. But I guess that's normal, huh? Hey, passerby. Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, I would have Googled it too, and I'm actually into superheroes, but not into like I was saying. It's X-Men is such a crazy cool universe, but then there's like even Spider-Man. Like I have a ton of Spider-Man comic books, even still. I would love to show them, but I bet you anything I'd get copyright, whatever. Which is ridiculous. It's like, how do you even like go out in the world and post anything on YouTube if they can even copyright? Anyways, it just doesn't seem like. I mean, when I agreed to all this stuff, I guess I agreed to all that crap too. So I shouldn't be complaining. I didn't read the fine print. It's nobody to blame but myself. At least that's what the lawyers would say if I got into shenagle with them. Finagle shenagle. And it's only on Thursdays, thankfully. So, yeah. Unfortunately, it's phlegm 30. God damn it. I'm trying to work it out of my system here. Get it rising to the top, folks. Like lava, like magma coming up from the bottom of God's green earth. Hold on a second. Gotta drink this coffee. I'm sure that'll help. Has extra creamer in it. Thickened creamer. Yeah, that's thick and it's scalding hot. I used to have a tongue. Oh shit. Oh god, I gotta have some more though. It's so good. All right, so far so good. And everybody wants to sing song. What's that? Huh? Oh, I thought I heard something. Never mind. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Story Grub Club. Something like that. I think it goes over something like that. Sorry about your ears. Sorry about those ears, folks. Wasn't really planning on playing my little baby today. I thought she might be playing me. But I was wrong about that. I don't even know where this accent came from. How about that, little buckaroos? Alrighty. What was he doing over here? Oh, I do apologize. Did not mean to bump into you like that. What was he doing? Why is there no cowboys on here? How come there's no? Oh, this is one of them commissions. The Alamo was a commission. It was a. Wait. That's a mission. I'm sorry. The Alamo. It was a mission from God, and it was a Saint Alamo. They called it the Saint Alamo, named after Saint Elmo's fire, from the German Elmo, meaning little furry friend. Surprised y'all didn't know that. Well, howdy, Rick. How are you doing? Oh, stories in the bathroom. This is Blight. Yeah, Blight. My first name doesn't rhyme with my second name, which is Blake. It doesn't make any sense. Blake is spelled. You don't even want to know how that's spelled now, do you, Rick? Rick. Okay, we were just talking about Canada a little bit ago, but now we're talking about Australia. I'm from the south of Australia. I was raised in the southern part of the United States. Moved over to southern Australia at the tender age of 32. Lived out there for about 76 years. If y'all didn't know that. All over the place. I just walked about. And I also was shipped up north and western eastern to over there, Manchester for about 17 days, where I learned the language and the ways of the people. Thus, whoa, I'm not even drawing y'all. I can't even see what I'm drawing. Hold on a moment. That noise is horrible, I know, but it's worth it. And now, gotta hold it still. Hold it steady. Is there no such thing as clamps in this universe or something? Like nothing that. Oh wait. Oh, this is what y'all do. Oh, that's clever. That keeps it from moving. Okay. It's a bungee. That's a bungee cord. Y'all know that. That's not a safety net. Who was calling it a safety net over there? Was that you, Terry? You son of a bitch. It's a bungee cord, Terry. Haven't you ever jumped off a bridge with a bungee cord attached to you? A 12-footer? They snap like the devil's back, I'll tell you that much. Oh, Terry. What are we gonna do with you, Terry? Anyways, back to my horrible story about Ireland and Australia. Okie dokie. Now there's this. There's a song. I don't know if any of you Australians are familiar with it. I'm sure. I don't know if it's like this. In America, there's like a bunch of old war songs and things like that that nobody even would know, you know. But then you play not war songs, but like um, I don't know how to explain it. But there's a song called um, walk. What is it called? Walking Matilda? No, Waltzing Matilda. And I was just curious because I've heard it played by the Pogues, and I wrote a song a long time ago called "The Holy Wars," and it's the same. I think it's like the exact same chords as the Pogues version of Waltzing Matilda. But I was just curious if Waltzing Matilda, because I know it's an old song from, I think it was written in Australia. Yeah, yeah, Pastor. And I was just curious, like down there, are songs like that like just famous? Like would everybody now down there know that? Cause like certain songs from like the world, like World War I think it was from World War One, right? The song, the premise, anyways. And it's just it's just very sad song. I mean, I think this is the kind of song that more I wish more people would listen to, and more songs were sounded like it, you know, to remind people that like, yeah, war is not all like red, white, and blue, motherfucker. Oh yeah, good guys and bad guys. It's like no, there's just horrible shit, and then you come back from those wars. And granted, I never enlisted, I never fought. My brother did. My dad tried. My dad gave my brother such a hard time at growing up, saying, "Oh, I was in the army. I was in the army. I was in the army. You little fuck. You little fuck. You're gonna go in the army. You're gonna," forcing my brother to go into the fucking army. And then I found out years later my dad didn't even last through boot camp. So that's one of them things that I feel sad for both of them about, because my dad had to push his own failures onto my brother, and my brother I don't even think wanted to go into the army, and but thought it would do something good for him, and now he's just I feel like he's just lost. And people come back from those wars and they just are ignored by the government and ignored by the communities, and they just become homeless, and then they're just homeless pieces of shit on the corner that nobody gives a fuck about, because everybody looks at everybody like they're just the same monolithic person or whatever, you know. Like, oh, that person's homeless. Same story as every other homeless person in the world, apparently. Like, there's no, couldn't have possibly been, you know, that they were promised the world and given nothing. They fought for their country and they came home. Yeah, we support our troops till they get back. Just like people saying that they give a fuck about babies, when those same people go and get abortions all the time, or don't give a shit about existing children. Just a bunch of hypocrites. Just a bunch of hippogriffs that need to be tamed and ridden to the ends of the earth and driven into the dark, harsh snow of tomorrow. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Joe's a phenomenon of the West world over. Wait. Okay. Oh, I missed some stuff. You guys are talking. Really? In school? Loving Australia. I think I know what you mean. I mean, I'm sure. I think it's it depends on who you're talking to, because I'm sure it's like that in America too. Obviously, America's atrocious. Our history is despicable, and we still do horrible things all over the world, and we fund terrorism, and we fund like I think it was the FBI, or no, it was the CIA. Yeah, was funding one group in Syria, one a terrorist group, and then like some other group like the American government or something else was funding another terrorist group, and they were fighting each other in Syria. And it's just like, we're first of all, we're funding terrorism. We fund terrorists to go into communities and areas and do our dirty work for us, just like gods do. And and we create more destruction and mayhem than we ever will help, ever. I mean, every day that our bombs drop, I mean, I think it was something crazy, fucking crazy number, like 90% of American drones, or I'm sorry, um, yeah, 90% of the drones that hit kill innocent people. They're not even going, like 90% of the time, they don't even hit their intended target. 90% of the time. And I mean, that was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or something like that. But I'm sure it's still the same. War is profit, and the more terrorism, the more people are scared, keeps people down, keeps people, in their spots. But then it all boils down to us, I was called a sexist because I wouldn't vote for Hillary Clinton. I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. I didn't vote in this last election either. I didn't vote. I can't vote for war parties. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. I could not bring myself to do it. I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Obama, and that was ridiculous. None of these people are our friends. And all they do on either side is separate us more and more and more. And I just lost a friend of mine recently that was in my band. I wrote a fucking song called The Holy Wars, and it's all about how religion is, all these gods are just, people are just fighting over scraps, essentially. Nobody wins, ever. Especially the weakest among us, and I'm talking about the indigenous right now. We've taken everything from them. So I don't mind being called a racist when it comes to that sort of stuff, even though I'm fucking not. But because at least it's hard to explain for me, man. It's like when I was in the 4th grade, I lived in Davis, California. And for a week at this school, it was called Birch Lane in Davis, if you want to Google it. It really exists. I lived in a little house on Drexel Drive, a little cul-de-sac. Anywho, for a week, we learned about Native Americans. Back then, we just called them Indians because we didn't know shit about shit still. Obviously, it's like when people say Indian, like my mom still says Indian, but like I'm so used to not saying that anymore. It's just things like that, like I think just people will jump to conclusions assuming people are racists, even though they're just speaking in like in an old school tongue. They don't know like all of the new lingo and shit, like, and especially we're seeing that with all the non-binary. I was seeing that in Idaho. If you people are misgendered and stuff like that, and they're going home and writing about it on Facebook, like, this old man misgendered me today, he called me a little girl or a little, thank you darling. And they posted a picture of themselves, and they're dressed like a fucking like Barbie doll or something. Like, what do you expect this old man to think? He's not gonna know that you're non-binary, like, unless you have a big thing on your tattoo on your forehead. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting off track. I'm sure I am. I think all governments are super racist. I think the Democrats are racist. I think the fucking the Republicans are racist. I think people in general can be very, very racist, especially in groups. Especially when they're looking for somebody to blame, somebody that looks different than them. That's just so fucking scary to me. Now, that's why the Democrats scare me more than Republicans, because at least the Republicans are pretty much like out. Now, I'm not saying all Republicans are racist at all. I'm not saying anything like that, But I think they're like I've said before, just like with me, it's like I have the capability of being evil, but I choose not to be. I catch myself judging people all the fucking time just by the way they look, how shady. Oh, so that guy looks shady or something. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? I do that all the time. I was raised that way. It's in my fucking DNA. I was raised by military policemen. I mean, it's like, but not everybody was, not everybody was raised like that. And I've somehow managed to stick with I don't know, some kind of a good head on my shoulders. Just knowing that everybody's capable of being awesome, even or awesome. yeah, everybody's capable of being awesome. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But I'm certainly will never I look at people that look straight and even. I look at people that appear perfect, and I cock my head more on them than I would the homeless man on the corner. I've been treated like shit by the best looking people in the world, and treated like gold by the poorest. And I can say that with a straight face. And that's why I feel like I have a lot of work to do on myself. That way, it's sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just. But the waltzing miss, I learned so much about Native Americans that I had never even heard before. You know, you see movies and things like that, but you don't know a lot. But that whole week, we just were like thrown into it. And then that Friday, it might sound really weird. This was like in the 80s, it was like 88 or something like that. That Friday, like the whole week, we were learning about Native American culture and making all these like, you know, this art and stuff like that. And I was like reading all this stuff and I was like fascinated by them. And, and I, that Friday, we like on the side of our school, there was like this little like weird forested area and we took it over. They let this kids like go out there and like we were like making wax and we were we were dressed like Native Americans, like all these little white kids. Oh my God, I wish I had pictures. That'd be so funny now. But I mean, oh my God, thinking about that shit now, it's just like, fucking 80s. Um, yeah, we're a bunch of white kids in California, just like, you know, Native Americans making wax. And I think I was even barefoot for, because I grew up out in the country still around that point. So I was like barefoot. Anyways, it taught me a lot and it literally like at in the third grade changed my whole perspective on my skin color. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah. It just made me think a little bit differently. Made me think outside the box, you know? I like the way you spelled shit. That's pretty smart, Sec. I see you, friend. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Oh no, he's just ignoring me. I'm not ignoring you, friend. I'm just busy. Now you made me feel bad. But yeah, no, I'm not trying to ignore anybody. I'm just drawing. I'm like still every time I do make a line, I'm like looking at these guys down here. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do with them? Because I think what I'm gonna have is like some kind of some better light, just like shrub something down. Maybe like they'll be standing in. Maybe her Santa Muerte's will be her arm will be wrapped around them or something. You know, that'd be cool. Oh yeah, sorry. I keep forgetting about the Walter Matilda. Okay, so like uh but yeah, it's I think that's cool that that's like shown in school. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but Sec, where are you from? I've seen that. I know. I feel like I've seen Pastor's Eyeball a lot too. It's funny because I kind of will like often make the joke of that I feel like I'm being watched when I'm going live because sometimes I'm being watched. It's not really funny. It's not really a joke. It's just more of like one of those observational humorous lack of humor jokes. You know what I mean? Oh, cool. So that's over. Is that in Ethiopia? Am I ridiculous? Am I totally off where that is? Falkland Islands? Cool. What's the weather like over there, like where you are? Oh, it's Greece? Sorry, I don't know shit. I thought I just heard somebody saying that last night that they were from Eritrea, Ethiopia, or something like that. Anyway, sorry. Well, I like your name. I think you have a cool name. What do you mean, like soccer? I mean football. Football. Sorry. You mean like football? I love football. I love playing. Oddly enough, I love playing with people virtually. How are we gonna do this? Like, how are we gonna set this one up? Oh, the Falkland Mainlands. I don't. Well, the plot thickens. Like literally, like the coffee I was just drinking, it made my phlegm thicken a little bit more. So the phlegm and the plot and the Falkland, everything's thickening up, and I kind of like where this is. I kind of like where this is going. As far as team up, you mean stalker? Man, I'm not really happy with this ink. I'm gonna go over the eyes again. I guess it's okay. Sec, my mom says hi, by the way. She said you haven't called in weeks. She's really sad. Mom?
Yeah,
Mom,
yeah,
can you, are you, no, you don't want to talk?
no.
Okay, well, that's that. You can't force an onion to cry. Or whatever the hell that expression is, right? You can't force an onion to cry. I'm just kidding, dude. That was me saying that. Just in case you didn't know, I was just... I'll tell her. She'll be like, she's so funny. Like she doesn't, I'll be talking with her, or she'll be out here hanging out with me, and she'll be like looking right over my shoulder at the chat. And anytime somebody says something, she'll like point at it and like make all these noises like, like, and I'm like, what, mom? Like, I'm in the middle of saying something. And she's like, but there's, because she thinks that I have to like write to respond. And I'm like, but mom, you watch all the time. You know that I just talk. I don't write. They write, and I like respond if I can or whatever, you know. And I don't know. I think it's interesting when people come out and see how easy it's just. I don't know. The going live thing. It's just such an easy thing to that it can be complicated. Like I don't know how to explain that. Anyways, either I'm not very articulate this morning, and I'm worried about smudging if I start drawing over here. But I should. I'm gonna draw a little skull down here too. I'm gonna change pens. I have an older brother that I think would actually be really entertaining if you were to get comfortable doing this sort of stuff, like going live and stuff, because he's a pretty funny dude. He's 4 years older than I am, and he's my only real sibling. But we don't talk as much as we used to. Hopefully that'll change soon. But I think people would watch him just to like listen to him talk because he's just kind of funny. A little skull there. The Falklands? Wow. Yeah, yeah. They aren't allied? Oh. Did you answer where you're from though? Oh, that's right. You're the Falkland. I mean, I'm gonna Google that then. Give me 1 second. Whoa. Whoa, what? Cool. Gosh, I got home last night. So that's like, so you live south of South America? Or just out there? Is that what I'm seeing? Holy crap. And there's a place called Carcass Island. Some cool names. Carcass Island. I want to go there. Wow. I wonder what it's like out there. What's it like out there? That's crazy. Jesus, I've barely... It's showing me on the map, it's showing me where I am versus where you are, and it's like... I've pretty much been in this part of the world my entire life. I spent some time in Idaho, Oregon, and California. And in Washington. I lived for a month in Washington, in an island. On Friday Harbor Island, or Friday... Yeah, my God, my brain is not working today. I got a lot of rest last night, but I still... I don't know where to start. There we go. What? It's snowing. Crazy. I guess you aren't that far away, though, from the equator. Like, how did you... If you don't mind me asking, like, how... Oh, really? Cool. North Dakota. How did you come across my stream? Like, were you just... I mean, I guess how you would come across any stream, right? It just appeared and you... I'm always curious. I think I've heard of Rugby, North Dakota. Rugby, North Dakota. Well, that's where Zach is from. That's where Zach spent time. Why are these pens giving me such grief? Finishing up this little area back here. I think once I flesh out this main face in the middle here, the whole thing will start coming together a lot quicker. A lot easier. Just how life is in Rugby, North Dakota. You're missing a number. Wait, area code. Zip code. Usually zip codes are 5. I think there is. I don't know why. I think there's a song called Rugby, North Dakota. If not, I'm gonna write one. Let's see. Yep. Rugby. Oh, the zip code is 58368. But the area code? I don't know what that means. Ooh, it has a Dairy Queen. Where is North? Where's North Dakota? Where's that North Dakota at? Ribndo? Oh, okay. Wow. Gosh, man, I didn't realize North Dakotas were that far over. I don't know much about the world. Wait, I don't live in a shoebox? We don't live in a big shoe? Inside of a big shoebox? And this shoebox comes around the corner. Sit your ass down, you mother. Give me them shoes. Oh, you got it, boss. Here are them shoes. Rugby, North Dakota. Oh my gosh. If I don't, hold on a second. Golly gosh darn dang. all the way up. I was saying down, but I guess if you're north of Dakota, it is down. So I'm just gonna act like I'm living north of North Dakota, friends. Yeah. Now somewhere in North Dakota, there's a place called Rugby Town. Rugby's got a Dairy Queen. It's where I met my future wife. Yo, oh yeah, Rugby Town, Rugby. It's also a football game. All right, I gotta remember that one for later. So, I got word from my friend over at Phantom Stranger Records, and I'm gonna go down and talk to him. And I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna go and pitch my idea for a movie. My movie is is the Black Chokum story. The Black Chokum story. Well, you guessed it. It's about Black Chokum. Some kind of tale or something. Some kind of moment or story, if you will. But no, I actually wrote him yesterday, and I asked him if this, because he's produced movies and things like that, and I said I have some ideas for a film. I think that would be pretty interesting, and he said that next time I'm down there, we'll talk, and he has some names that he'll give me. I want to start the idea for the movie. Let's see, I don't want to miss anything here. Yeah, it's out of tune too. I mean, like when I got it, it was out of tune, and it's only out of tune, I think, because it was out here all night because it got cold. But the strings are kind of new. But they're like these really cool strings called elixir strings or elixir or something, and they're more like $10 more expensive, but for me it's perfect because they last a lot longer. They're like plated with some kind of alien juice or something, hung out on the line to dry. That way that alien juice can soak into them little wrinkle folds and make that guitar sound sweet. Like Neptunian finger judges. You don't get them very often. Those are those flowers from Neptune. I don't know if everybody's ever been there, but it's a beautiful place. Really? Yeah, no, dude. And like there's like the warm and like the whatever they're called. The other one's like bright and warm. And I got bright on my 6-string, and I really was impressed with them. And then on the 12-string, I had them put on the warm ones, so it sounds really nice. Which occult? Which? Huh? How did? What now? Oh, okay. Well, I think to be alive is to be cursed, my friend. Especially if you are a deep feeler. I don't think you necessarily have to be born into the occult to be cursed. Let's just say that. But to be alive is to be cursed and to be blessed with a curse. The curse of life. It's a curse. A motherfucking curse of life. Yeah. And that's why I'm not afraid of my shadow anymore. Peter Pan once said, "Cowabunga, and all was right in the world. Amen." Okay. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start booking shows under the name Black Chokum, and I'm gonna start getting footage of me out in public as Blight, just doing Black Chokum stuff. And it's gonna be somewhat like Borat, where I'm gonna go to places and be like, yeah, I'm a country western star, but I want to know how to flip burgers, or just like weird shit like that, and try to get people caught off guard and just make people laugh and stuff. and play songs like on the street, like be busking and stuff as people are walking by, like sing about them as they're walking by, and I don't know. I just don't. You know, it's not every day you see like, well, a fully clothed cowboy busking on the streets. Anyways, we've talked about this before. The naked cowboy coming to a town near you. What's okay? Sec, why are we talking about that? What? I mean, why do you want to talk about that right now? I'm just asking. It's interesting, don't get me wrong, and if you want to talk about it, I can totally change subjects, and we can just talk about that. Or you can just talk and I can just react. But that's like some heavy stuff, so. And I don't know you well enough to know if you're joking or serious, but if you are, either way, it's just kind of like, it's kind of derailing the conversation a bit because it's distracting me quite a bit. It's pulling me out of my little fourth wall dimension, if you know what I'm saying, into the realm of, do I need to stop what I'm doing to take care of my friend? Like, do they need help? Should I call somebody? Do I need to call the authorities? Do I need to call Aquaman? Does Aquaman need to come out there and check on you, Sec? Are you being hurt? How old are you, Sec? Are you home alone? Do not drink the milk, Sec. Do not. Well, you can't. If you're thirsty, you just drink the milk. Don't drink milk. Don't drink it. It's cursed. Check the milk before you drink it. Is it bloody? Well, don't drink it. Yeah, got a little blood in it that you can't see? Microscopic bloods? Yeah, no problem. Drink it on down. Drink it on down now. Drink it on down. Drink it on down now. Drink it on down now. Drink it that. All right. Here we go. I hope you're feeling better now. I know I am. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I just played one, actually. When I went in. I'm sorry, Joel. I didn't mean to. Yes, I have. I've actually played one of those bass ukulele. With the black strings. Oh my! It was like playing a It was like a fretless. I swear to God, it was like so much fun. I would have bought. It's only like $200, I think. Oh my gosh, I need to buy it. What am I doing? Where am I going with this? I'm just filling in the gaps. And I love acoustic bass. We had one in my band for a while. But yeah, the uke that I played, the bass, it was unbelievable, and it was just so easy to, like I already said, it was so easy to play. I really, really want to start a band here, but I just, when I first was looking, I started, thinking maybe I should find a drummer, and a bunch of people, not a bunch, like 6 or 7 people, like responded to my ad, and then I realized, oh yeah, maybe I should tell them that, like, because I think they're expecting if I give them a link, they look at my stuff and they're like, they're seeing this dude, this dude looking guy, doing stuff, like dude stuff and whatnot. So I just wanted to I just want to let them know before they met me and stuff, like, hey, just so you know, I don't dress like that anymore. So if that's not a problem, let's make some music. And I never heard it back from any of them. So it's like one of those things too now where I think I might even, because I think I could actually, if I was in a band down here, we could actually get known really quick. um, I have enough songs that are good that we could learn in like a matter of minutes. All I need is a drummer to keep a beat and just let me do the rest kind of stuff, And I think we could do really cool stuff. And LA is just down the road, literally like 3 hours away. And that's the thing. It's like I'm like serious. I want to do this thing with Blight where it's like a Borat thing, and he's like going around, and I set up like a little tour, and I go to LA and back or something, and there's like 5 shows or something, and all this stuff in between. I just film as much as I possibly can. I need two people at least to be, so like somebody to film, and then a drummer or something like that, or a drummer person to film. Two people would be great, but three people would be perfect for like a little crew. And just film me doing all sorts of off the cuff stuff as you know, have like a simple sort of script planned out around the venues, and whether I tell the venues what's going on or not, doesn't matter. I'll be in full costume and full character the whole time anyways. And I'd rather just be in character and have them just call me Blight the whole time. So, oh, when it's the, oh wait, what do you guys want? But this area, like I was saying too, over in Bakersfield, which is like an hour and a half east of here, if even that, I don't even know if it's that far. It's like an hour of that. Um, that's where a lot of like outlaw country stars started, like Merle Haggard and Buck Owens and Dwight Yoakam actually played with Buck out here quite a bit, and like Buck was famous and shit, and like I've written so many songs. I would love to like get on like a like a country western circuit, but that's the thing. I can't go the way I dress now, so I'd have to be. I couldn't even go dressed as the way how I usually would have dressed as a dude. So, and of course I'm actually wearing pants right now. I was showing them off last night too. But I got these freaking pants last night in a thrift store. They're like the pockets are hella deep, but they're exactly my size. It's like these pants were just waiting for me my entire life. They're amazing. Hold like I need like a big chain drive wallet now. A mohawk. So, yeah, I want to get into character as Blight. Learn like 20 of my songs really well. Make them all countrified. And start filming, and then just start making people laugh. And I think I was telling Pastor yesterday, I think maybe, but like how it would be funny if he was like, you know, Blight Chokum, he was raised as a Christian, so he was in the country western circuit as a Christian, you know, guy known as like I'm a red-blooded American red, white, and blue Christian from I I worship somebody from the Middle East. I'm red, white, and blue. Um, but yeah, and then he like goes like he just like loses his faith. He loses his faith, so he starts writing all these songs. And I think the Holy Wars would be a great one for him to sing, but it's not like funny. It's like super heavy. But it'd be a great song to end on, like a set. But it's the same chords as Waltz and Matilda, so which is funny because it's my protest song to religion, the Holy Wars. If you look it up, you can just Google Story Grub and then Holy Wars, and you'll get it eventually. Because I had a band called Story Grub and the Holy Wars. Because I'm not a big fan of war, if anybody didn't know, but I'm very, very not friendly with the Holy Wars. So I named my band after it, so I would never forget how awful humans can be. And it pushes me to be better than those I oppose. Anywho. So I'm going to go talk to Patrick about that here one of these days. Because I think that would be really funny. And then I was even thinking, because even in like, what was it, Ali G? How he plays all these different characters, and they're all it could be like episodic too. I think that might be the way to go. Oh, what did I miss? What do you mean? Am I standing? Death country. Well, I think it would just be funny because people would be walking by and see this cowboy busking, and you don't see that very often. You don't see somebody dressed in like, you know, Wranglers and Ropers and stuff like that, and a Stetson hat. Not that I'm wearing all those, it's really expensive, but I'd be wearing knockoffs. And and I would only want to wear like the same outfit too. So I would have like one of those like button up, like, you know, button shirts, like collared shirts. And I actually have one of those. I just need to find some Wranglers and some boots. And because I have like a mullet wig and everything that I would wear, and like I have tons of sunglasses. I have like a briefcase full of sunglasses for some reason. um, where is it? I'll show you. You want to see my briefcase full of sunglasses? Yeah, it's really quite impressive. Give me one moment. Oh, watch out! I'm gonna meet it just for. All right. Oh, hold on. Give some room. This isn't even all of them, but it's most of them. I'm a collector of things. In Idaho, I went to a Goodwill, or over there they're called youth ranches. It sounds really weird now that I think about it. But no, I mean they're thrift stores, a chain, but a lot of the proceeds go to the youth. Troubled youth and stuff. These are pretty cool too. But I went there once and they had like a bag, like a huge ass like Ziploc bag with 17 pairs of these in it, and I was like, mine. And it was like $2, so I like bought them all. That's why I have so many of those. If you watch my Matrix movie, that's why I break a pair and then he immediately, like the Agent Smith wears these in my Matrix movie. And then he breaks a pair, but then immediately pulls another pair out because he's like an agent, you know? That's why he could do that, because I have like 20 pairs of them. So anyways, yeah, and I think it would be like really interesting just to go out and to sing as good old Black. Yeah, let's do this. Fingernails. It was pretty much in tune. Let's see if that helps. Waltz and Matilda is because my song is in E. I think theirs is sort of the same. The band it might be an A actually, but. a nice guitar. It's not in, it's still not in tune. It's still. Are you sure that was a false alarm? Because I had a snake in my boots this morning. Snake in my boots, yeah, snake in my boots. Another reason why I need another person to hang out with me is so they can play my special little instrument. It's color coded. No numbers or letters anywhere to be seen on them. All color coded. So if you're colorblind, you cannot play these. I mean, you can. You just wouldn't know what color they were, unfortunately, or what number, or what. Wait a second. Wait a second. There's numbers on these and letters. Holy moly! They're just really dusty, but it still sounds great. After all these goddamn years, I've had that thing since I was -3. That's right. Back when I was 2. I was a sperm and an egg. It was the wildest time of my life, I'll tell you that much. Such a scatterbrain back then. Couldn't get anything done. It wasn't until the two sides came together to create the corpus callosum. That's the part that connects to both sides of your brains. And that's what connected the egg and the sperm together. Who would have thought? In a world full of Dumases, be a dumbass. Honestly, don't know what that means or where I was going with that. But I do appreciate the confused expressions on your faces. See, I think it would be fun to go live as Blight, just playing songs. Eventually, I'll have to get to that point. I just have so much to do. I have a full-time job now, but I still get up at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't even matter. What else? I got this mural to start working on. It needs to be done before around the first of the year. And I have to think about pricing for that thing. It's like, I don't even know how to price a mural. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be like, I just want $2,000. I want $2,000. We'll go from there. Or something like that. I don't know how to. Yeah. Pricing. How about $5,000? No. Okay. You go next. How much do you think it's worth? We'll start at 5,000. Slowly work our way down. Because murals are difficult because they're like, there's a lot of planning, prep that goes into them, a lot of time, and I have to go to the space to make it, which would be cool, but still. Once I get the ideas down and everything, I should be able to get it pretty good. Let's see, what was I doing? But I really, really, really want to make a movie, or at least a movie that I can break down into like several episodes and release them on YouTube. I think Blight would become popular overnight. Overnight Blight. Because even though he's like, would be like diving into all these different religions and stuff, like, I think it'd be funny if, because he's just such a nice guy about it. He'd be like the, what's the dude, Lee, oh gosh. He does all the Scientology movies, and not all of them, but he did a Scientology movie, and he's like a journalist. He's a big, lovable dude. I forget his name, oh my gosh. I want to say it's Lou something. He's an American British dude, I think. Journalist. I guess I broke my rule about not going past an hour. I'll stick to my gun someday. That's. Oh, you mean like how much is the literal like tools and stuff like that, or because like later, Joel. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Stay warm. Um, I don't think it would cost much for the paint because I'm going to use paint pens primarily and just acrylic black paint and white paint, I'm sure. But like, I think what'll be hard because he wants me to do kind of specific stuff for it. So when people ask me to do specific things, I have to, like this, for example. I mean, they wanted me to do a spider, an owl. She just gave me a list of stuff that Hazel liked, my friend Ellen. So like, Hazel likes lilies, and she likes the Mexican band from South Park, and then like Muerte and some kind of nostril. She likes nostrils apparently. I don't abstract nostril horned. I'm just kidding. But like she likes owl, that sort of stuff. And then so I just kind of, for me, instead of just being able to just do this stuff and fill in however I want around somebody's name, when they give me specific stuff, I have to use a different part of my brain. So it takes a little bit longer, but I feel like the results are usually pretty good. When I have to add elements that they want, which shouldn't be like, it should be a no-brainer because that's what a commission is. It's like somebody asks you to do something for them. So it's weird because my brain doesn't want to do things that it's told to do. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. It's like a little brat. So I have to be like, no. So sometimes it takes me a while to actually like get the inspiration or the oomph to do it, But once I started this yesterday, and I think it's coming out pretty well. It's just, I'm learning that this paper, I shouldn't have used this paper because it's really hard to draw on. And like it's not soaking up the ink really well. But I think with the really dark stuff, I'll go back over it once I'm done with a different pen. And hopefully that'll make it look a little bit better. So. And it's really thin, so I'll be able to ship it to her easily. I can just roll it up like carefully and just put it in a tube. But I'm going to put in another piece of art for her because she was so nice to me. So she's going to get like a little care package of my art. But yeah, all of the stuff for the mural shouldn't cost too much, hopefully. But I think it's more of like a labor, literally like a labor thing, because I'm going to have my arm held in the air for long periods of time, and that my shoulders are already fucked up. So I'm probably gonna have to do some sketches, rough sketches on paper first before I do it too. So I can just show him. I'll be like, okay, so this is what it's gonna look like, sort of. And it's basically gonna be like some sort of like a tree with like a heart in the middle. And the bar is called Decades, but it's like decades of music. So I think each limb will have like different decades, like represented by different iconic figures from music or iconic instruments or something, just to represent an era. So I mean, that alone, it does sound kind of daunting, but it sounds fun too. It'd be fun to pull it off. And I would be able to go over there and have a key and be able to like crank music up and just do my thing for like while I'm there, So it's just all these things, man, coming up that I'm just, with work now, I have to be careful. Because I still haven't gotten my hand checked out or anything, and I really need to get my hand looked at. Like, it hurts really bad right now. And, like, my job is very physical, I have to, like, do things, and it's just, I don't want to do permanent damage, But I'm stubborn about going to doctors and things like that. But then I complain about it, so I just shouldn't complain. That's why I was, to be honest though, that's why I was kind of, that's why I started the YouTube channel and all this stuff, or I started going crazy with it anyways. I mean, I'm almost at 900 followers, and that's 700 subscribers or 700 plus subscribers in the last 6 months. I would say within the last 4 or 5 months, 4 months probably, mostly. And that's, for me, that's great. And I really appreciate the support and stuff. So, anyways, I'm probably boring everybody anyway. So, but yeah, I would say just a few more days on this one, just here and there, working on it. Yeah, I'm gonna have something with his arms, maybe coming around these guys down here to kind of encapsulate the whole piece, and then it'll just go up, kind of like maybe like Mexican art does, you know, and just have like tree limbs on each side, encapsulating everything. So hopefully it'll look cool. Anyways, I'm gonna go. So hope everybody has a good day. Happy Friday. Be safe out there. Be kind. And remember that there's always somebody out there thinking about you. Whether or not they want to hurt you or do good things is unbeknownst to me. I don't want to do any harm, so just, you can know that about me at least. Okay. Love y'all.